If you're a longtime viewer of Coaster Studios, then you saw that I just recently released my top 20 roller coasters that I've ridden. So how do I follow that up? With my top 10 parks that I have been to. I did one of these lists a while back, but it is time for an update. Since then, I've been to a lot more parks. This summer, I went to 25 to be exact. And so already, just based off the parks that I went to this year, there's obviously no way that I'm going to be able to incorporate every single one of them into this countdown. And there are so many great parks out there. There's so many places that I love. So I really had to pick my true favorites for this list. So please don't get mad if your home park didn't quite make it. This is all personal preference. And just note that all these parks are in the United States. I haven't been to every park in the US, but I also have not been to any parks outside of the US. In total, I've been to a little less than 40 different parks, so I'm certainly getting around, but anyways, before we get started, one last thing that I want to mention is that I will not be including two parks on this list. My two home parks, Kings Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Why am I not including them? Because I am obviously biased towards them. They're basically my second home. I visited them more than any other park on the planet, so I just feel that it wouldn't be fair for the other parks if I included them. So let's start things off with a great park in Indiana, Holiday World in Santa Claus. And what a great little place. Obviously, everyone knows about the free things that they offer like soft drinks, sunscreen, and parking. But what I really love about this place is the atmosphere. They have the 4 themed areas, 4th of July, Christmas, Halloween, and Thanksgiving. All of those areas are very well themed, and in them you have some great attractions. Who doesn't love the Voyage or Thunderbird? And then Raven and Legend are great also. And of course, they're known for having one of the single best water parks on the planet. There's so many reasons why Holiday World is a great theme park, and they absolutely deserve a place on this list. So now let's move over to the West Coast for Southern California's Knott's Berry Farm. Located just 10 minutes from Disneyland is a great Cedar Fair park, arguably the only theme park in the Cedar Fair chain. And what a cool place. You have some great roller coasters such as Accelerator, Silver Bullet, and Ghost Rider. And then you have lots of great theming. They have a working ghost town with live actors. It is so cool. And this is one of the Cedar Fair parks that has some better food options. It just has a very different feel than your typical Cedar Fair park, which is something that I love. Next up on my list of my favorite amusement parks is the world's largest amusement park, Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. In the minds of some people, this is the best amusement park in the Six Flags chain. And I totally understand that. They have some great roller coasters, a freaking safari. So if you come to Great Adventure, you're gonna be coming for the roller coasters. El Toro is phenomenal. Nitro is pretty good. Of course, you have the world's tallest roller coaster, King Ka here. And obviously, because they're taking my number 8 spot, they're a great park, but in my opinion, not the best in the Six Flags chain. Let's move on to number 7, which is Kings Island. Now, I got to visit this park quite a few times this past summer, and I've really grown to appreciate it. They have some really nice rides, a great children's area. They have some cool shows. They brought in a dog show this year. And of course, this is the park that is home to the one, the only, the Beast, legendary wind roller coaster among enthusiasts. In general, this is just a really enjoyable park. They have some really nice qualities to them. Next up is Six Flags Magic Mountain, the park with more roller coasters than any other on the planet. And if you're a coaster enthusiast, you're going to love this place. They have so many roller coasters, it's insane. But unfortunately, outside of the roller coasters, there isn't too much else to this park. They have some family rides, but really you're going to be coming here for the coasters. But they do have some great rides here. Full Throttle is a multi-launch coaster. X2 is one of the few fourth dimension roller coasters out there. You have Superman Escape from Krypton, which launches you backwards up 400 feet in the air. Of course, Twisted Colossus, my opinion, the best ride there. A great coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. And really, there's just so much to do here. I'm impressed if anyone manages to pack in everything this park has to offer in one day. Many consider this the best Six Flags park, but actually the park I have ranked just above it is Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. In my opinion, a truly underrated park. Really beautiful, the prettiest Six Flags park by far. They have some fantastic roller coasters. In my opinion, the best floorless coaster, the best coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction that I have ridden. So many of the coasters incorporate the terrain. They have some really nice thrill rides. The theming is great. It barely even feels like a Six Flags park. It just has a different type of atmosphere to it. I'm not saying that this park is absolutely better than Six Flags Magic Mountain. That's really not what this list is about. This is just based off of my personal preference, and just understand that my personal preferences are always changing. Like for instance, right before I started this video, I switched around some of the order of some of these parks because since I had last looked at it, I had changed my mind. So now that we've made it halfway through, let's move on to our number 4 spot, Carowinds. Located on the border of North and South Carolina, this is a truly awesome place. They're home to my personal favorite roller coaster, Fury 325, a fantastic B&M hypercoaster, one of the best inverted coasters out there, and they just upgraded their water park, so now their water park is awesome. In general, it's just a really nice place. You can really have a good time here. So now we're at our top 3. Taking the 3rd spot is Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. This is a great place. This is just one of those places that I consistently want to visit as often as I can. It has a truly different feel than so many of these other parks. All of the rides are so unique. They have great theming. The food is fantastic. And of course, because this is Dollywood, the shows are on point. And the roller coaster collection is great. Tennessee Tornado is fantastic. Thunderhead is great. And they just added Lightning Rod, the only launched wooden roller coaster in the world, as well as the fastest wooden coaster in the world. Dollywood is just one of those parks that continues to improve, and I just can't wait to see what this park does next. So now we're really getting down to the nitty gritty. And my number 2 park I think is going to surprise some people. My number 2 spot is actually Hersheypark in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now this was a park that I had made my first visit to several years ago, before Coaster Studios even existed, and I really enjoyed the place, but when I went back this past year, I had forgotten how much fun it is. This is a great place. They have easily one of the best top 5s of any amusement park out there. Great Bear, Lightning Racer, Storm Runner, Fahrenheit, Sky Rush. These are all fantastic roller coasters. Their coaster collection is great, and because it's Hersheypark, the food has got to be good. They aren't called the sweetest place on earth for nothing, so expect to have some good desserts while you're here. And the park's not going to be perfect. I mean, the layout is a little funky, but in general, they really embrace that family-type audience that they're appealing to. But they do it so well because there's so much for everyone to do. The park is clean, it's got a nice vibe to it. And I think just in general, Hersheypark is one of those places that I need to start visiting more often. So now we're down to our number 1 spot, and I don't think this is going to surprise anyone. It's Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. This is so many people's favorite amusement park, and I am going to agree with those people. Are they the spoiled child of Cedar Fair? Absolutely. But they should be. This is the best Cedar Fair park in the chain. Their coaster collection is fantastic. They have a sick midway, tons of family rides, and for those of you looking for theming, while you won't find too much of it in the roller coasters, they do have this quiet area of the park that's very reminiscent of a place like Dollywood. Dollywood has that feel at the entire park, but Cedar Point has an entire area that kind of gives off that feel. And just because of its location, already you're getting a beautiful picturesque setting. The park encourages you to spend multiple days here. You got that on-site hotel. So much to do. When people come to Cedar Point, they're looking for a good time and they're going to get it. So that is why Cedar Point has taken my number 1 spot, and those are my top 10 parks that I have been to. Like I said, this list is changing all the time. I'm constantly changing my mind. Right before I made this video, I had some parks on this list that I took out and replaced with other ones. I changed around the order a bit. That's just how it is. My favorite parks are going to change because this is how the list was now. But I may go back to some of these parks and have a cruddy experience, and so it's going to drop a few spots. Or on the opposite end, I just may have the best day ever, and suddenly that's in my top 3. So this is absolutely not set in stone. And really, the more parks I get to, the more likely that the list is going to change. So I'll try to update this again next year. But as of late 2016, these are my top 10 parks. So I want to know, what are some of your favorite amusement parks? Post all those thoughts in the comment section below. If you hadn't already, make sure to check out my top 20 roller coasters that I've ridden. Many of those roller coasters can be found at these parks, so go and check out that video. And of course, make sure to stay tuned for more countdowns, roller coaster videos, and videos about some of these parks. There's still lots more content coming, so make sure to click that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time.